Hello, good afternoon, everyone who's watching us live today. Welcome to another episode of Community Conversation, where each and every Thursday at 4 p.m. we speak to representatives of the community from organizations that can provide various community resources to community residents. I'm Shannon Crooks, a librarian 3 with the Prince George's County Memorial Library System. Today, I'm filling in for the CEO, Roberta Phillips. She had another engagement she had to participate in today. And we have some lovely guests with us today. They are from the Prince George's County Economic Development Corporation. We have Ebony Stocks, the vice president, and also Alicia Moran, the manager of the Small Business Services. Thank you, ladies, for joining us today, and welcome.
Thank you for having us. Happy to be here.
Absolutely. Thank you. Welcome.
Yes, thank you. So we'll get started here with the first question and ask you, what is the PG County Economic Development Corporation and what types of services do you provide?
Sure. So Prince George's County Economic Development Corporation is here to serve our business community. Our main focus is creating jobs, but also attracting businesses to the county, helping you to expand, making connections, and making sure that the county is a good place for you to grow. How can we help you grow? That is our main focus. And so we work with businesses with permit assistance. If you're a business and you're looking for a location, we help you do that, which is our site selection services. We help businesses sort of get expedited through the permitting, but also the if you're doing any type of development or building, if you need a health permit because you're opening a restaurant, we help to expedite and usher people through those services. But we're here primarily to help your business grow. We do a lot of networking, which is sort of hard in this COVID environment. You're doing it electronically, but we still work to connect with our businesses during trainings and really providing technical assistance to help you grow.
Perfect. I know you have a website with a lot of different resources, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so our viewers can see all of the different things that you have to offer. Can you see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
So, viewers, if you would go to pgcedc.com, you can see the different resources that the Prince George's Economic Development Corporation has to offer. The one that is exciting to me, or the one that kind of jumps out to me, is the Innovation Station Business Incubator. So can you tell us a little bit about what it is and how people can get started if they want to be a part of this program?
Sure. Well, thank you for asking. And again, thank you for having us. So I am the manager of small business services, but within the economic development team, there are a lot of different experts. And so we have experts on manufacturing and construction. We have experts in technology, as well as those that focus on our federal agencies and restaurants and retails. My specialty area happens to be this Innovation Station. I just wanted to give a shout out though to my colleagues because it's a team effort. We team sport. It's all about job creation, business retention, business expansion. And so basically we work with small businesses that may be growing in the county that are looking to expand. And they may come to Innovation Station and say, we would like some extra support services. So we would like to be a part of your community. We have office space as well as co-working space. And we also have remote working situations. So you may already have an existing site in the county, but you want to be associated with Innovation Station because you believe that there are certain services or resources that we provide that may be able to help you. So we have special partnerships where we do, we'll be doing our first Friday coaching session. That's a monthly session that we do. We also have the individual coaches and mentors that work with our companies that are residents. We also have CEO roundtables and chat and choose sessions that cover a lot of different topics. We have a pathways program that we did that was actually to help all small businesses, but a special benefit to those in our incubator. So there was the Pathways to Financial Management, and that was a program that walked companies through, really what you're doing, right? Why did you start your business? You want to be making money. So how do you make sure that you're doing your finances in a way, you're pricing your products a certain way, you're managing your accounting in a certain way, etc. And then we do procurement sessions. So we work closely with PTAC, the Procurement Technical Assistance Center. We also work closely with the Minority Business Development Agency and their Federal Procurement Center. And we work with SCORE and SBDC. So we have a host of counselors and others that work closely with our companies. But in addition to that, we bring in special procurement opportunities. We brought in NOAA for an industry day. We've brought in NASA and some other agencies. We brought in the University of Maryland, and now we're seeing some of our mentors and counselors. And so we work closely with TEDCO. We work closely with the Maryland Industrial Partnerships. So there are a host of resources that we bring to companies that are part of Innovation Station. And then we also are happy to work with all small businesses. So don't feel like if you're a small business, you can only come talk to us if you're part of Innovation Station. We work with all small businesses. But this is, again, something special and unique. And we have a variety of graduates who have graduated. One of those has actually formed a restaurant in the community and has been noted as one of the best barbecue restaurants in the area. Angerai, Strativia, some other well-known companies that you probably are familiar with. So we look for companies that actually have some kind of technology element. So they may have some proprietary technology. They may have invented like a hair care product. For example, Alodia Hair Care is one of our tenant companies, our resident companies. But we work with those that have just special and unique products and services, but also those that may have proprietary and need intellectual property, lawyers and have intellectual property that they wish to protect. So I hope that helps answer a little bit more. If you scroll back up, again, we have some great videos on the page, and we have some wonderful companies. We have international companies. It's an international soft landing pad. So that is something else as part of our business attraction and retention program. Mm-hmm. So we work with our international team, which I failed to mention earlier. Martin Azima is our international liaison, and he works with us to help bring foreign direct investment into the county. And often those small companies, those larger companies, maybe creating a U.S. presence, would actually start an Innovation Station. And we've just attracted a company from Italy in the aerospace industry just this year during COVID. So wow. We have companies from Israel, we have companies from India, Nigeria. So we have a number of international companies that are part of our business incubator, as well as a number of local companies like DSI and DMV and some others like Katasha Ford from Ford Management Services that are here. They're homegrown companies that are looking to expand and wanted some additional connectivity to the community. It's great because the thing that makes Innovation Station really unique is that it's associated with our Economic Development Agency. And that means you get the benefit of knowing people like Ebony Stocks and our other team members who are all working with the industry, and you're plugged in. And especially in this kind of environment, we found that really having a remote presence in our community is helpful. We use this also as a business attraction tool. So if we're working with companies from other parts of the state of Maryland or other states, again, this is an attraction tool. They may come and learn more about Prince George's County by being a part of Innovation Station. You're seeing our office space. We have a virtual tour as well that we're happy to share with anybody. We have offices, small and large office suites, and we also, again, have the open space and, again, the remote work environment. So the application's on the website. If anybody's interested in learning more, we just encourage you to say, want to learn more, so that we can tell you more about it one-on-one, learn more about your business. But overall, again, we at Prince George's County Economic Development Corporation work with businesses of all shapes and sizes and industry sectors. And so we're really here to help businesses. And if they don't know about us, they should know about us, and they should get to know us, because we can help connect them to other customers, capital, and other resources that they may just not be aware of. And I'll hush and let our executive vice president go back to tell you a little bit more about anything else from Innovation Station from her perspective, or PGC EDC.
No, I think that was good, Alicia. We're always looking for businesses to join our innovation station, and all the resources that the county has to offer, as well as our resource partners, because we understand that, EDC, we're a small organization of 25 people, and so oftentimes, we partner and we leverage other agencies and nonprofits like ours to bring additional resources to our businesses to help you grow.
So can you tell me a little bit more about the application process for getting involved in this program?
Sure. So part of the application process is you have to be an existing business. And usually businesses are maybe 1 to 3 years old. Sometimes they're older, like more established than that. Some of them are younger than that. Basically, they tell us a little bit about why they'd like to be part of our business incubator. And I would just mention that in Prince George's County, we have multiple business incubators. So to be fair, we work with the MTech Center at the University of Maryland very closely. We work closely with the Bowie BIC. We work closely with the Entrepreneurship Center on the student entrepreneurs at Bowie State University. We also work with the Innovation Hub at Prince George's Community College. So the application process in part is just to make sure, one, that we're the right fit for you and that we can actually be of assistance to you. So it's a little bit of learning about the business. And so they would provide us a copy of their business plan, a little bit of information about their finances so that we understand kind of where they are in the process, and also their letter of good standing from the state of Maryland. And again, the application outlines some of what they're looking for to get from us. And many of our applicants are people that have come to our programs, and we're doing a number of programs upcoming. We have a partnership with Lurch Early Brewer, a local law firm that's actually been providing information to tenants and others. But so we try to leverage Innovation Station as well to even provide more services to all small businesses in the county, but again, provide specialized opportunities. For example, we currently are reviewing grant applications. So Prince George's County Economic Development Corporation obtained a grant to support our business incubator companies. And those associated with Innovation Station have access to that grant opportunity. That is provided to us by the Technology Development Corporation. So again, technology related companies, those with the proprietary technology, et cetera, are really companies that TEDCO wants to see us supporting and growing here in the county.
Awesome. That's an awesome program for small businesses. So viewers, if you're listening, you're thinking about starting your small business or you're already started, check out the Prince George's County Economic Development Corporation and see what services they have to support you in your journey. Next question is, with lots of businesses being challenged by the effects of COVID-19, many businesses are in search of support to aid them in recovery during this pandemic. You have an Emerge Stronger program to help businesses throughout the pandemic. Can you tell us a little bit more about this program?
Sure. So the Emerge Stronger programming grew out of what we saw through our business relief initiative, our business relief fund, back in March when, the impact of COVID really started to hit us and things started to shut down. The county started a grant program, our business relief initiative. And there were some things that we saw that led us to further think and say, how can we help our businesses further? What are we seeing additional needs that we could provide or additional needs that we could serve. And so that's how Emerge Stronger grew through our business relief fund. And so what we did, we partnered with the FSC First Financial Services Corporation, along with Bowie Bick, to put together a cadre of training programs and services and counseling to meet businesses in this challenging time. And so what we came up with, if you're looking at our website now, are a bunch of different programs. And so our Capital Matters program centered around the financial management component of operating a business. And so we had a lot of financial experts and from the lending community, from CPAs, trainers and counselors to come in and do a deep dive on how do you survive COVID on a financial basis. We did notice as we were reviewing applications that a lot of businesses did not have their tax returns on file. They didn't have those source documents that they needed to apply for grant programs, not just the counties, but SBA's program. The state of Maryland had a great program. In order to apply, you had to have several documents ready to go because the funds went quick, the application windows were short, and businesses needed to be ready. And so this Capital Matters program sort of highlighted and focused on what businesses needed to get ready from a financial perspective. We did several CEO boot camps. Looking at that, we focused on 3 primary industry sectors: restaurants, retail, and healthcare. That was looking at the concentration of applications that we received through the BRI program. Those were the 3 most prevalent industry sectors that applied. And because they've been the hardest hit during COVID. And so what we offered were these compact boot camps to really talk with companies about, show you how to pivot, because COVID really changed the game for a lot of businesses. And so we wanted to step in to say, all right, if you have no idea what to do or you're thinking about shifting, let us show you how. And so what we did, we partnered with experts. And they came in, they did some excellent sessions, excellent training sessions. I want to say it started in September. There were 4 sessions for each of them. The great thing is that if you were not able to participate or you weren't in the know in September or October, you can still go in and view those training sessions. It's not too late. In addition, one of our CEO boot camps were in Spanish. And so those boot camps were primarily, wasn't focused on one specific industry sector, but if Spanish is your first language, we didn't want to overlook our Latino business owners. And so we wanted to bring the training directly to them. And then the other component of our Emerge Stronger programming is the mentoring and counseling. And I'll let Alicia talk more about that since she sort of led that effort.
Well, and I just wanted to make sure everybody heard what Ms. Stock said, that $20 million, the county provided business relief grants, and Prince George's County Economic Development Corporation and FSC First, we really we're on the front lines and working with all the businesses to make sure that they got those grant funds. And so in addition to that money, there was also a restaurant relief fund and also a daycare childcare center fund. And so to Ms. Stock's point, we wanted to make sure that we were really helping companies beyond just the money, right? So we chose to do on Mondays from 1 to 4. We still have a counseling session that's been set up. We call it counseling, but really it's an opportunity for a business owner to come in and have a one-on-one with 6 experts, right? So these are private sector experts as well as other resource partner experts. So we have someone from FSC First that works with us, as well as someone from SCORE, someone from SBDC, and then those with business finance and business operations, marketing communications, business strategy that are part of the counseling session. So somebody can go online and they could say, yes, I've been impacted by COVID-19, and I'd love to talk to a counselor to learn a little bit more about how I might be able to. And that's actually the mentee mentor application. So that's a little different program that everybody's looking at right now. But for the counseling program, that they can sign up still to actually get a session from 1 to 4 on Mondays. And you can actually pick a time that works for you. We'll get you a Zoom link. You don't have to go anywhere. We'll pop you into a room with a bunch of experts, and then you can tell us a little bit more about your company and what your needs are, and we'll work with you. And that's just the beginning of the conversation. Everybody says, what's next? Well, we give everybody some guidance and some connections during that session. And then from there, companies can still come back to individuals within that group to continue to work with them. So it's really been a great program, and I would encourage anybody that wants to know more about that to follow up. The mentoring program is something that about many of our businesses have actually taken advantage of too. Because this is a short-term program and was grant funded, we have cut off the mentee application, but we are still helping companies. So if somebody does is in need of a mentor, please reach out and we'll try to see what we can do. But we have been working with about 30 companies that have been allocated a mentor to try and help them work through a very specific COVID-19 challenge. And there's 3 meetings that usually happen between the mentor and the mentee. And then we're hoping to have some good outcomes to report. This was actually funded in part by PepCo, a grant from PepCo. And so I wanted to recognize them as one of the funding entities that actually helped to support this effort as well. Anything else, Ebony, that I've missed here that you wanted to mention? I'm sorry. I know I keep throwing it back to my boss here. So.
No, I love you guys clicked on the session library. And I just wanted to stress that, you know, although we're no longer doing these sessions live, these boot camps live, you can go to our session library and to participate. If you see our retail boot camp, we talked about supply chain management. We talked about how do you take your business online? How do you do the marketing piece? Because COVID, what we all learned here, you know, 10 months later, that what we all came into this and what we thought and how we started, we got to make some changes and we got to do things differently. And that's how we see ourselves at EDC is let us help to make those changes. Let us sort of guide you through this process because it's not easy. And sometimes it's hard to do it alone. And so that's why we have these sessions. That's why we have this session library. If you go even further to EDC's website, prior to COVID, all we did was network and train and have sessions. And so we have a huge library of information and trainings that we put on to help businesses sort of go through this process and not just sort of go through, but how do you emerge stronger? I hate to say that, but emerge stronger and sort of thrive. So when we all get to the end of this, we're all better for it.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. I know you also provide financial literacy through your Pathways program. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, so Alicia sort of alluded to it before. Our Pathways to Financial Management series, we actually started this January 2020, this time last year. And so this program focused mainly on of course, all the financial aspects of running a business from, how do you put together your financial statements? What's the story that your financials tell when you're presenting your paperwork to a lender? They're looking at the numbers and they're getting a story from the numbers, which may be completely different than your business plan. And how do you, as a business owner, sort of understand that so you can better tell your story? We also talked about how do you approach a lender? Bank of America is different than Prince George's County Community Bank. And so not every lender is the same. And so how do you choose a lender based on what your needs are? We talked about the different types of financing. So of course, if you're looking to purchase a building for your business, it's a different type of financing. If you get a large contract and you need money to start that contract, now you need contract financing. We talked about how to right size your financing needs. And then we also looked at the accounting piece of it. A lot of businesses get in business, how to do your service or your product. And sometimes you sort of leave the financial piece off to your CPA. And so part of our training was to sort of bring you into the accountant's office and sit down and say, all right, these are what these financial ratios mean. This is what the story tells. And also, if you're someone or a small business and you're doing it on your own, how do you use QuickBooks? Or what are some of the software systems that you could use as a business owner, or you have a part-time bookkeeper and you need to have that integration and have that understanding. So we were very happy with, how the Pathway series progressed. Unfortunately, but COVID, we were in the thick of it with our 6 sessions, and we had some other networking things that we wanted to do, but COVID. And so we sort of had to pivot ourselves as an organization. But we're looking to do Pathways to Financing, Financial Management again. And then we sort of picked that up with our Emerge Stronger program. So although we couldn't finish with Pathways, it's still a topic that we wanted to discuss and wanted to help our businesses with. And so it just transformed and morphed into Emerge Stronger. And so we're still focused on helping our businesses understand the financial piece. And so Pathways to Financial Management hasn't gone away, but businesses still have access through our website to look at the trainings, to participate, get the materials, and again, engage with us, EDC, to know more and to learn more.
Awesome. So I know you also do business outreach. So what does that look like when you're, helping people out in the community?
So our team at EDC are primarily comprised of our business development specialists. And so Alicia Moran, she is our small business development specialist. But we have a number of individuals, as you can see here, that have specialized in certain industry groups that the county has recognized. There's some growth potential there. Some things are happening in our county, and we want to help progress them, help our businesses grow and expand. So Alicia mentioned Martin Azima. He is our director over our international division. So if you have a business and you're curious about exporting your product or service, Martin Azima can help you with that. Rocio Tremines Lopez, she is our Latin business liaison. If you are a Latin business owner, you can work with her or any of our business development team to help your business grow. Alexis Allen Shorter, she specializes in our medical industry. If you're a healthcare company or a medical manufacturer, a dentist office, a doctor office, She will help you get connected with the ecosystem that we have here in the county. Mayank Kapoor specializes in IT. Nicole Hall, her specialization is with restaurants and retail. So if you have an idea to start a restaurant, or you have 10 different locations and you're looking for your next location, you can contact us. You can contact Nicole, and she can help you find sites that are a good fit for, your cuisine, who your audience is, your customer base. Let's see, we have John Mason, who focuses on manufacturing, as well as some of the other niche industries like distribution, warehouse, and transportation. I mentioned Mayank Kapoor. I know I'm going down through the list. You're going to have to stop me, Shannon.
No, this is excellent information. Thank you.
Mayank focuses on our IT and aerospace and our biotechnology companies. We want to help you grow, and part of our job is to attract businesses to the county. I know I've sort of focused on the expansion, but we want to help bring businesses to the county and develop this ecosystem further. David Lewis specializes in our federal sector. A lot of our residents work in government and in the federal government. And a lot of our residents are tired of traveling to DC to go to their job. And so it is David Lewis's job, along with a couple of others, of course, to work with our federal partners to say, hey, if you're opening up a new office, we want you to open up in Prince George's County, because we have the workforce here. We have the talent here. And so his focus is to go out and talk to our federal agencies to bring them to the county. And of course, everything in between. We have a lot of 8A companies. We have a lot of government contractors. And I know there's a lot of industry sectors that I have not mentioned, but we're here to help. We have a lot of services and connections that we want to make for you. I've talked a lot about our county agencies, but there's also resources on statewide. And so we work with the Maryland Department of Commerce, and there are different sectors and bio and international. EDC is the connector for you, because we understand it's hard if you're one person and you're managing your business and trying to grow your business, that you need someone to introduce you and help you to go to the next level, and that's what we're here for.
Okay, I'm going to take a short pause and see if anybody who's watching has any questions they want to ask. If we don't have any questions, we can continue with some of the questions that I had. But wonderful services so far. I mean, wow, I did not know that PG County had this wonderful resource for small businesses. The library system is working to have a workforce development team that is going to hopefully partner with area organizations to try to bring some of these resources to the forefront more. I think there's a lot of people who come to the library asking us, do we know places that they can go to get started with their small business? And it would be great to refer people out to you guys for support.
Absolutely.
Okay, it looks like we don't have any other questions. Someone gave a wonderful comment, wonderful work that PGEDC is doing. Yes, I think so too. Thank you, Miss London. The next question we do have is from Tina Foster. She says, what do you do to support veterans? Yes, great question, Tina.
So if they're veteran business owners, we do work with the Small Business Administration, and they do have certain programs to help veteran-owned businesses. We also, again, if those are veteran-owned businesses that are doing business with the state or the federal government, we can certainly work to make those relationships as well. We have a great veteran population in our community, and I love our veteran population, especially those that go on to become entrepreneurial, because they're used to working hard, no sleep. They understand what the grind of starting a new business is all about, right? So we have what's called Project Opportunity, that we work in partnership with Employ Prince George's and Prince George's Economic Development Corporation, and then a private entity that actually does they work with a cohort of 10 to 12 companies that are veterans that are looking to start a business. And that's actually a free program that's available to local business owners. So, or those that may be veterans considering becoming a business owner. So if anybody needs to learn more about that, we're happy to connect them to that resource as well.
Awesome. Thank you for that question, Tina. Do we have any other questions from our viewers? Just put them in the chat and we'll be glad to ask. I'll give you a moment to ask any questions. Okay, I'll keep going with the questions that I have. So I know you talked about resources for the Latinx community. What exactly do you do with the Latino Business Services department of your organization?
Okay, so I mentioned before, Rocio Tremino Lopez is our Latin business liaison. We recognize as an organization that sometimes the things that we do and the services don't quite connect. And so Rocio is there to be the connection for our businesses and actually to the services, not that just EDC has, but the county has as a whole. So what we found is if you are primarily a Spanish speaker, there could be a language barrier if you're opening up a business and you're trying to get a permit. And you need some assistance, and Rocio is the sense. So EDC is a part of the Metropolitan or Washington Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, as well as the Salvadorian Chamber of Commerce. I mentioned before, a lot of the programs that we do are in Spanish. We make sure that all of the materials that we provide to business owners are translated into Spanish. And we focus on making sure that the resources that we provide are in Spanish, because the reality is that sometimes, language could be a barrier. And so we want to do our best to remove those barriers. But also on the other side as government, we want to make sure that our Latino business owners are represented and voices are heard when it comes to making policy and making decisions. We want to make sure that you're represented. And so that is the role that EDC seeks to fill. That Rocio, she does an excellent job. If you follow her on Twitter or on Facebook, she's out there. You see her everywhere providing information to our Latino business owners so they can be informed as well.
Awesome. That's also a great program as well. It looks like we have another question from our audience. Amanda asked, do you have any real estate development mentors or programs directed towards that?
So I will say that we have had a couple individual business owners come to us that were looking for mentors in real estate development. And we have provided them with a mentor that may be able to assist them. So certainly please reach out to us and touch base with us. We'll do our best to see how we can assist you, Amanda.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Great question, Amanda. Thank you.
And I would also mention a lot of the services we provide comes from what our businesses need. And so if there is a need, if you're a business owner and you need X, let us know and we'll do our best to connect you with that X. If it's not EDC, then there could be another sister agency that is providing that X that we could connect you with.
Awesome. And if you have any other questions, viewers, please put them in the chat and we will ask our guest. Thank you for that question, Amanda. So I'm curious about any success stories you may have of small business owners that have come to you. They've went through some of your sessions and they've just had huge success because they have used your services.
Well, I think we've been talking about that a bit for our annual report that we have coming up probably. But there are a number of success stories, and whether they're small businesses or large businesses, the work of the Economic Development Agency is really to connect businesses to not only just our resources here in the county, but to connect them to state resources as well, or resources at other entities that may be supporting that business. And so we have had a number of big economic development related wins that actually create jobs here in the county. And again, may use different programs and economic development tools that are here that are supplied by the county, whether that's our EDI fund or that's our, tax credits, incentives, things along those lines to help our businesses.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also have the small businesses that maybe, again, needed more of the support that I mentioned earlier. Maybe they have developed a product and they are taking it to the next level and they need some help in developing a clinical study around that product, say. And so, yes, we have had successful businesses that have, again, created e-commerce businesses, have created proprietary products. They came to us and they were a startup. They won the Startup Maryland pitch competition and then went on to now being a successful e-commerce business that is selling products globally, and hopefully will be doing some additional manufacturing and other services here in the county as they grow. We again mentioned another local small business that actually was an international business that came to us, actually worked with Rocio, myself, and our restaurant liaison. So we have a team effort really around our businesses. And that's the great thing about EDC. We are a family. We work together. We work together for the benefit of all our businesses. And so that success story is it was an international business, came invested into the county, came into Innovation Station, went on to then again create a local restaurant here in the community that is now a very successful local restaurant. So that and now employing several people in our community. So that's really those are two, and I'm sure there may be others. Does that give you enough, or are you looking for other examples?
No, that's wonderful. Just always curious to know how people are being helped in the community and any success they've had by using the resources. So that is awesome. Thank you for that information. If you have any questions, please ask them in the chat. It looks like we have another question. First is a comment that leads into a question. So in the wake of the George Floyd murder, many financial institutions came out to denounce it and pledge efforts to address racial inequality. With these financial institutions committing billions, how does that affect PGCEDC and its capability? That's the first question.
Sure. So I would say I'll sort of answer this question in pieces. We are working with the financial institutions that sort of service this greater DC, Washington, DC area to provide financial assistance to businesses in the county. In addition, not just to sort of the racial inequities that we've been experiencing in some of the programs that have come out of that, but some of the COVID relief that's being provided through our banking institutions, EDC, along with our financial partner, Financial Services Corporation, FSC First, are working to be a funnel for those resources. So EDC itself, we're not a lender, but we work with FSC First, who is our lending partner, to provide those resources to Prince George's County businesses, because that's a priority, especially being in the county that is majority African American. We want to make sure that the programs and the resources that have come about are provided into our community as well. So we are very focused and making sure that those resources are available, and being that conduit to getting those resources out on the street in a very targeted way.
And Heath Carlock has a second question. He asks, has there been any specific initiative that you all have been awarded in the wake of the social unrest?
I wouldn't say as related to the social unrest, unless you're aware of something that we could pursue that I am unaware of. I would say no, we haven't had any funds or specific resources as related to that. But if you are aware of something, definitely contact us and we will pursue it.
And that's one thing that I wanted to say too, and just add that we do go after grant opportunities. We do work in partnership with others. We have seen a lot of investment into the community from a number of different entities, right? So to that point, there are new funds and new initiatives, and we do connect our entrepreneurs and innovators to, those funding mechanisms, whether it's a venture fund or an angel investment community that may be looking to make investments, in our community, so it's not related to financial lending institutions per se, but more other types of funding opportunities out there as well. And I did want to just add, if I could, that we have the Buy Prince George's portion of our website too. That was another outcome of our efforts for helping our small businesses and our local businesses. That really, this is a very critical time for everybody to around and help your neighbor as best you can, be a good neighbor, and to do what you can to help your local small businesses. So whether it's a professional services firm, accounting firm, lawyer, whatever it may be, your hairdresser, your, selling product, jewelry, a gym, all these local businesses that have been impacted by COVID-19, there's an opportunity for them to put information about what their business offers, and at least for people to go to actually procure products from those local Prince George's County based businesses. So I just make mention of that. That was just one other effort. In addition to, I mentioned the 20 million for the BRI fund, but in total, I think, Ebony, it was $30+ million in grant funds that have been provided to companies. And so one other thing I would just say is we work closely with the Small Business Administration and our federal agencies. A lot of businesses that may be needing help with the Paycheck Protection Program or the SBA Economic Injury Relief Loan Program that also has a grant component. Your counselors at the Small Business Development Center have been provided with CARES money to help assist businesses through that process. We too will try to assist you. To that point, there were initiatives within that next round of money that actually did work with new lenders that kind of spoke to some of Heath's questions a little earlier. So hopefully you can see we're really here to help everybody. We're trying to do the best we can and helping our businesses in the community, whether they're a young business that maybe needs a SCORE mentor and might need to have assistance in helping to put together their business plan. We also connect people to the library because guess what? The library does have some great resources. So we are plugged into that program that you mentioned that's coming online, and we'll be a part of that conversation as well. So just know those are a couple extra things that I just wanted to make mention. People should look at our PGCEDC.com, the website overall, just because there's a lot of COVID related information, as well as, getting back to normal and the new normal, as well as there's an event calendar with programs. So please just know you are only a click away on the website and only an email or phone call away as well. So
Yes, thank you for that. And you made mention of the library's resources. So, viewers, you can always visit us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at pgcmls.info. You can go to our online library, and from there, you can visit our small business resources. Once you get to our small business resources, you will see a long list of different resources that you can access from home. There's free business counseling, online library resources, restaurant resilience fund, temporary COVID resources, community resources, resources in Spanish, and experience Prince George's trial business membership. So there's several different things there for you to check out. Some of the resources do require you to use your library card, so make sure you do have that with you. And if you are a student in PG County, I know some of our young entrepreneurs out there would also like to learn about the business services that we have. You can also access those same resources with your student ID link card number. That is your library card number. And the last 4 digits of that number is your passcode. So feel free to visit our website and look at all of our great resources that we have to offer. This has been a wonderful episode. Thank you for joining us, Ebony and Alicia. I learned so much more about your organization, and I hope that our PG County residents will take advantage of your resources through the Prince George's County Economic Development Corporation. Thank you for joining us, guests. Thank you for joining us today. I have a couple of minutes left, so if anybody has any final questions, you can ask. I think you may have a last statement, Alicia, about the local governments.
I just wanted to make mention that in addition to the EDC, many of the local communities have economic development liaisons. So if you're in College Park or you're in Greenbelt, and we work in partnership with our economic development liaisons across the county as well, and working on all our strategic plans to move forward collectively as a community. But I just wanted to make mention of that in case some of the listeners were in a particular municipality and they might want to start there with the entity as well, and or come to us and we'll connect them to them. Either way, we're all one big happy family, again, working to help create jobs, help to improve our tax base, because that helps our schools and helps the community in general, right? So
Awesome. Thank you for that, Alicia. Ebony, any final thoughts, words, comments?
I'm just happy that you were able to have us on. This has been very fun and dynamic conversation. I really appreciate it. I would just remind everyone to, again, I know we mentioned our website, but it changes often because in this environment, things are happening very quickly and new programs are being developed. They come out, the application window closes 2 weeks later or 3 weeks later or a month later. And so it's very important during this time to be aware, to stay plugged in. In our organization, I manage a lot of our grant programs, and I cannot tell you how many emails I receive after a program has closed. And then I get the request for exceptions. Well, this happened. Can you allow me to submit the application? And unfortunately, we can't. And so that's why it's important to stay plugged in. And if you visit a website or you visit a resource, check back often because things are happening. We have a new president in the White House, and we're all anticipating the next COVID relief package. And we're anticipating that package will trickle down to the local level. And when that does, there'll be another programs coming out and more grant relief. And if you're not in the know, you will miss it. And so I would say stay plugged in. It's very important. If you ignore us next year, that's fine. We can take that. But please don't ignore us. Please stay plugged in and be informed, because a lot of the information and the resources and the funding is very critical. We understand, to help businesses sort of survive this period. And so I say stay plugged in and stay informed, and don't be afraid to reach out to us to figure out how we can help you sort of move forward.
Awesome.
Thank you, Shannon.
Yes, thank you, Alicia. Thank you, Ebony. Thank you to all of our viewers for making the comments today and asking questions. Join us again next week on Thursday at 4 p.m. as we explore another community resource through community conversations. Thanks and have a wonderful day. Stay safe.